This video is part 1 of a two-parter. Click the card in the upper right corner of the video, or stick around for the end slate to find a link to part 2. So, along with a few other movies due to everything going on in the world right now, Trolls World Tour was released on streaming services last month. And am I the only one who really doesn't think they're all that bad? I honestly don't understand the vitriol I see these movies getting from some people. Yeah, they're nothing special, they're cheesy as hell, and they try way too hard to be current every now and then. But they're also bright and colorful, they have an awesome felt aesthetic for the world they take place in, they're ultimately harmless, and occasionally, they're actually pretty funny. I'm not calling these modern classics or anything, but I think they're fine. And hey, at least we didn't get a movie starring the actual troll dolls. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, DreamWorks Trolls didn't start out as these cute little colorful singing munchkins. In fact, they were based on a line of toys called Troll Dolls, invented in 1959 by Danish woodcutter and fisherman Thomas Dam. And they look like this. Okay, I make fun of how this thing looks, but its creation is actually a really cute story. Thomas Dam carved one of these out of wood for his daughter when he couldn't afford a Christmas gift that year, and when the kids in town saw it, everybody wanted one. And by 1963, they had spread all across Europe and made it to the United States, where they became a massive toy fad for a couple of years. And then they became a huge fad again in the 80s and 90s. And that's no joke, these ugly mugged punk-haired little bastards were everywhere on the second time around. They got a couple of animated specials, several video games, a musical special, and more toys than you can shake a stick at. If you need a better idea of how prominent these things were, one is very clearly featured in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, a film franchise that lives and breathes late 80s nostalgia. All because a woodcutter gave his daughter a homemade Christmas gift that one year. Holy crap. Unfortunately for toy marketers, there was one problem with the troll dolls. Maybe it's because they were small and cute, maybe it's because of the focus on their bright, colorful, brushable hair, or maybe it's because they were called troll dolls, who's really to say. But as the 90s rolled around, troll dolls started to become regarded as the one thing that toy marketers fear the most. Girl toys! And what does a desperate American toy company in 1993 do when they want to rake in the other half of all that pocket money going around? That's right, they rip off the Ninja Turtles. And thus, a short-lived toy line with the obligatory cartoon called Stone Protectors was born. All in an attempt to market the toy to boys. I didn't even know Stone Protectors was a thing until a couple years ago, but I can't pass up the opportunity to talk about a weird obscure cartoon based on a Danish toy. So, let's watch the show and see if it has the stones to deliver anything good.
We're the Stone Protectors, our stones of power global.
Oh god, it had to be a band cartoon on top of everything else. Cause, you know, 90s cartoons always splurge their budgets on decent musical numbers outside of the theme song. And man, this theme song blows! It's not catchy, it barely tells you what the cartoon is about beyond an ugly band with shiny jewelry, and half of it is just a bland character roll call. On the plus side, the lyrics are super inappropriate when you take them out of context.
Cliff, and I scale the drums. Let's get vertical, have some fun!
Whoa, dude, easy. At least take me out for dinner first.
Me on Chester on electric bass, thumping licks all over the place.
Dude, you try licking anything other than a stamp with a face like that, you're gonna be facing a sexual harassment charge.
We're the band knows how to rock. Lots of flash, lots of sock.
What was that?
Lots of sock,
Come again?
lots of sock.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And you know, nothing says cool rock band like a keyboardist who just has a bandolier and fucking hand grenades hanging off of him. What, were pyrotechnics too difficult? Anyway, with that embarrassing display out of the way, let's start with the first episode. With the hilariously edgy title, Forged in Fire. In fire it was forged, and back to the fire it can go. Michael Hack? Boy, I'll say. So as you can see, some fantasy castle is under attack by a reptilian villain called Sock and his henchman Sink, who are trying to steal some kind of power crystal, guarded by Empress Opal. But Opal just kind of sinks at the crystal for a moment, which causes 6 gemstones to separate and fly into a convenient dimensional vortex to find new protectors. Except for one stone, the Onyx, which Sock manages to keep. On Earth, the stones attach themselves to a terrible rock band calling themselves the Rock Detectors. Really? and proceeds to transform them into grotesque-looking troll creatures. Not that the audience seems to particularly care, which might be because the transformation actually makes their music better. Funny thing about the word better, though, it doesn't always mean good. Man, nobody start playing any Dio or Alice Cooper or Judas Priest around these people. If this is their standard for rocking tunes, I think their brains might explode. Well, the Rock Detectors concert is cut short as their truck suddenly drags them all off to the same dimensional vortex and brings them back to the weird fantasy world. You'd think this would be upsetting in some way, but at worst the band just seems mildly miffed about it. And in the apparently like 5 minutes that have passed since the stones flew away, Zog has already started using the Onyx to create lava monsters and a bitching throne, which is the closest this cartoon ever gets to being cool. Less cool is the band's truck crashing into and getting stuck inside a lava monster. And apparently they just never considered this situation particularly urgent, because now is the time they decide to hold a band meeting about it.
Check it out, check it out! We look different.
We play different.
And I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Tutu.
Plus, we got all this good stuff, huh?
What? Oh, good lord! Oh, you guys are giving me way too much to unpack here. First of all, what the hell is with their outfits? This one is wearing a karate gi, this guy's a wrestler with a cape, this guy's dressed like fucking Guile from Street Fighter, and I don't even know what's going on with the other two. And what on earth is that accent?
And I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume this guy is supposed to be Scottish, what with his name being Angus and him calling everyone lad all the time. But my god, I would have never guessed from the 20 or so different accents he has every time he speaks. I mean, in the intro alone, he sounds freaking German.
I'm Angus and keyboard and I can lay back, but it's great to riff with a fast attack!
His other lines aren't any better, by the way.
This place brings a whole new meaning to the word alien. Oh, lads, this is incredible. How's that for a little bit of English? I want to see me mum.
You talk funny, Nash. Where are you from? Lots of different places.
And finally, what the hell is that weapon? I know that's supposed to be a grappling hook because he's the climber of the group, but it looks like an anchor. And is that a plunger tied to it? What, are you afraid you're gonna float away the next time you try to unclog the toilet? What other weapons do you guys have? What? Okay, I can't harp on this forever. The boys aren't happy about the situation, but the power of, Opal making them horny, I guess,
Drummers never pass up a great-looking babe.
causes them to break out of the lava monster to fight back and start showing off their new superpowers. This includes Maxwell's super speed skates, Cornelius getting a sonic blast voice, and Angus using his new skill as an inventor to commit war crimes! Predictably, the episode ends with the gang rescuing Opal, who informs them that they can't turn back to normal until all 6 gemstones are reassembled.
Now, the way I see it is we gotta play this gig until we get the Onyx back.
Or until Zot gets the other stones.
You mean these stones?
You got it.
But they're kind of fixed. I mean, it feels like it's part of me.
That's the way it is.
Cataclysmic.
I love Opal's tone of voice in this scene. She sounds like she's telling a child that they can't go to McDonald's.
Mom, can we stop at McDonald's?
Jessica, I'm making dinner at home. I hate this fucking family.
Also, can you just repeat that last word?
Cataclysmic.
And what was that other word that you shouted at some point in the next episode?
Catastrophic.
Are you guys trying to come up with a catchphrase? I mean, come on, you can't just say random bad C words and hope they catch on as a catchphrase.
Cataclysmic.
Colonoscopy!
Catastrophic.
Chlamydia! Well, that ends the first episode, but we still need to establish a few things, so on to episode 2 we go. Opal takes the gang to the hideaway, where apparently most people hide from Zog and his henchmen. But the band is in a pretty big disagreement on how to handle the situation and briefly breaks up over it. Angus and Cornelius are especially keen to go home, and try to do so by hooking up some machines that makes them fly when Cornelius sings, and will apparently open a portal that can... You know what? Don't ask. I don't get it either. Unfortunately for them, the noise attracts the attention of Zog and Sink, who come to capture them.
How can anyone listen to that trash? I'll tell you this, Sink. When Mithrandir is in my palm, we'll have real music. 1,001 violins, accordion bands, musical saws. None of this filthy rock and roll.
Oh, that's right, it's a band cartoon, so of course the villain has to act exactly like that shouty guy from the Twisted Sister videos.
You carry that guitar! Who are you? What do you want to do with your life?
I want to rock.
Protectors, stones of power.
So naturally the two get captured, Sock and Sink try all sorts of tortures to extract the gemstones, and the others rush off to rescue them. As exciting as all of that should probably sound, it basically means that nothing of note happens for like 6 solid minutes. The only interesting part is that the guys can apparently feel their friends' distress via the gemstones and...
Oh, excuse me. Oh man, that feels better.
So the rest of the gang arrive and start using more superpowers to beat the bad guys and escape. This includes Angus suddenly revealing he can turn invisible, except for the giant glowing gemstone on his chest. What a great power, dumbass. As they're about to escape, Sock tries to blast them with the Onyx, but Chester deflects it by throwing a pipe and knocking it off the staff. Without attempting to grab it! What are you doing, you dumb bastard? And with that, episode 2 ends. Okay, you know what? I think I'm done with this one. Now, normally when I review cartoons I haven't seen before, I watch at least 3 episodes for the purpose of giving a more balanced view of it. Hell, in cases like this where there are only 13 episodes, I usually watch the whole thing, but... yeah, I think we can all agree that we've seen everything Stone Protectors has to offer. This thing is a goddamn mess. It's already an uphill battle to try and get appealing character designs out of the troll dolls by decking them in combat gear, but when one of them keeps pulling a mid-burp Rick Sanchez face, you're turning off your audience before you even begin. And while the show is pretty crap all around, I think I would have a little more patience with it if it at the very least stuck to a theme of some kind, but no! It doesn't do that either! The trolls have random names that aren't related to either their gemstones or their music, their weapons range from random bullshit junk to slapdash musical instruments, and their individual costumes and superpowers have absolutely nothing uniform about them, or any relevance to their role in the group. Which, you know, are all the things that make TMNT-style shows work. Like, say what you will about the Street Sharks, that was a dumb and transparent TMNT copy too, but at least they picked a nautical theme and stuck with it, gave their sharks destructive names, and based all their equipment on various extreme sports and vehicles. It wasn't great, but it tried. This thing just shoves random shit that it thinks boys might like into a garbage can, puts a stick of dynamite in there, and sees where the destroyed remains land. You'd think people would put a little more effort into something they were really banking on becoming a huge success. I mean, they went all out. There were toys, a Super Nintendo video game, comic books. Oh, good lord, look at Angus's face here. And all of them were as badly received and as short-lived as the show. If I have to say one nice thing about the Stone Protectors, at least the animation in the toy commercial is kind of... Ah! God damn it, Angus! Why is it always you? So, no, Stone Protectors is not some forgotten gem among the piles of TMNT ripoffs of yesteryear. It's just a misguided attempt to remarket an already popular toy. And it wasn't even the last time somebody tried to do this. As troll dolls started to lose their popularity, the rights holders tried again. This time deciding to embrace the girl toy status with the cartoon Trolls in 2005. Spelled with a C, of course, just so you know that it's hip and fresh. Now, I don't want to be one of those dudes that are all like, ew, girly equals bad, because obviously that's a load of crap, but I gotta admit I'm kind of dreading what I'm about to see. Still though, it might not be all that bad. I mean, it's 12 years of advancement in the field of TV animation, so surely we gotta see some improvement, right?
Ash, what are you doing with that stick blender?
I'm purging these cartoons from my eyes. Hey folks, thanks for watching this little curiosity sprung from Danish culture, and we're very sorry about that. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to press the like button and leave a comment. Maybe about some other weird TMNT style shows. Lord knows there are plenty of them. Special thanks, of course, go out to Silvermoon Ravenwolf, Warren Miller, and everyone else who supports me on Patreon. You flatter me, guys, you really do. And if you're thinking of supporting me as well, you can find my Patreon, Ko-fi, and TeePublic links in the description below. If you just found this channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button as well as the little bell to be notified of all future reviews, top 10s, and other nerdy goodness. See you then everybody, and bye bye!